planting in August or transplanting in August? Hello, welcome to 7 Savings Garden, where we talk about gardening, ways to save money, and other special events. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notified of all upcoming videos. So as I showed you in the previous video, I had this raised bed that I grew huckleberries in, and I harvested the huckleberries. So I took everything. I took all the huckleberry plants from the raised bed, and I'm gonna be able to grow some other crops in here. So I'm gonna plant sweet bitter leaf over here, and this should give me at least, I'll say, maybe 4 or 5 harvests before the end of the season, which is also making use of the space. So I took out all the huckleberries, then I added some more compost. I added some compost, and now I'm just adding some organic fertilizer. I'm adding rock dust and some other organic fertilizer in there, and I'm just gonna mix it up before I transplant the sweet bitter leaf in here. So I'm doing this just to make sure that I make full use of the space, because if I leave the huckleberries there, they were already old and already started producing seeds. They were not gonna give me that much production anymore. So I took them out. I'm gonna transplant the sweet bitter leaf in here. I added, like I said, I added a lot of good compost, and I added some organic fertilizer. So I'm gonna be able to plant in there and be able to get some good results. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just watering it. Since I use peat moss to mix all the compost and the rock dust and the fertilizer, I just want to make sure that it is all at least soaked and has a good moisture in there before I transplant it. And then after transplanting, I can do a little bit more watering, and then it should be all good. So just make sure that the peat moss that I added to it, and the rock dust and the organic fertilizers are all mixed in. Now I'm just gonna plant, I'll say about 4 to 5 inches apart, and that should give them enough space to grow, and it should be able to plant as many as maybe 15-20 plants in here. So this are the distances that I'm using. And you might, if you've grown sweet bitter leaf, you might use a little bit smaller space or more space, but I know they do great, and they spread their leaves and stems and branches once we start harvesting the leaves. They spread out, so I'm giving them a little bit more space. So now I'm just making the holes that I'm going to transplant the sweet bitter leaf. These are the sweet bitter leaf right here. I planted them in this container like 3 weeks in advance of this, so that they're gonna be ready when I want to do it. So like early July, I use the quick germination method. I have a video that shows you how to germinate seeds very fast. So I use the quick germination method around beginning of July, actually 2nd week of July. So now I'm just gonna transplant them. When transplanting, you want to make sure that the roots are into the ground and they're completely covered. And I'm just pushing the soil to hold them up and make sure that the roots are completely covered. So I'm gonna do the same for all of them. I have a couple of other videos that shows you how to make your own potting mix. If you want to use potting mix for raised bed, it's expensive, but you can use regular compost, should be fine, and just mix it with a little bit of perlite or sand. It will give it some good quality material for raised bed. You don't really need to buy potting mix. If you can mix it yourself, that's fine. Just buy, if you can buy compost, you buy compost, or you can just use your compost if you have compost, and just mix it in, and you should be able to plant with that, and it should provide some good quality nutrients for your plants. So now I'm just gonna make sure that I plant the rest of them, and then we just want to make sure we water it regularly, especially during the hot summer days. You want to make sure that it doesn't get dry, I water it at least once a day. When it's very, very hot, I water it twice a day, early in the morning and late at night. And once in a while, you can use liquid fertilizer, or you can use compost tea. What I do is I use compost tea every 2 weeks. I just water. I'm gonna water it every 2 weeks with compost tea, and that should provide it even much better quality fertilizer. I have a link in the description below that provides you some great fertilizers you can use. I also have a post that talks more about various fertilizers that I use and the best way to use them. So check the post, check the links in the description below. So let me know in the comments below if you plant vegetables in August or mid-season, and the type of vegetables that you plant in mid-season. So that way, maybe might be something that somebody else might learn from you guys. But I plant a few things in August. I plant lettuce is another quick one. Spinach is also good, since they don't require a long time for them to grow. I also plant a huckleberry because it's very fast germination and fast growth. And I also plant this one right here, which is a sweet bitter leaf called bekang. So I'm able to at least be able to get some nice growth from them. As long as they have good nutrients and you take care of them regularly, you should be able to get some good production from them. The only problem usually you get is you get snails and slugs and insects that might try to feed on them, but you just have to try to stay on top of them as much as possible. So I'm done planting now. So what we're gonna do is just water it. Once we water it, we're gonna just take care of it and check it regularly. Every time you transplant or you plant anything, just make sure you water it thoroughly. It's better to be safe than sorry. Usually if it has good drainage, the water is just gonna run off and the plants are gonna get enough water that they need, and they're gonna be able to pick up and start growing easily. Okay, this is it 2 weeks later, and it's doing really well. We have some weeds, but all of them growing. We should be able to harvest some of them. We already harvested a couple of them already, but we should be able to harvest these other ones, I'll say like in a week. But some of them did very well, like these ones that were a little bit bigger, they did very well, and we already harvested them this week. So these ones are doing well. As you can see, they're all doing very well within the space of 2.5 weeks, and so we should be able to at least get a couple of harvests. I'll say at least three or four harvests before the end of the season from this, which is not bad. If we planted it like the beginning of August, first week of August, and as you can see, it's all we transplanted it first week of August, and right now we already harvested a little bit of these, and so the next harvest that we harvest all these is gonna be much bigger, and we're gonna be able to get a couple of harvests from it, which is good for a half growing season. So definitely make sure that you use the space that you have, and make use of the time that you have. If you have some plants that are already past their prime or past their growth, you can definitely take out those plants and put something else that will give you at least 1 or 2 harvests before the end of the season, which is gonna at least help you save some more vegetables for the rest of the year. Okay, that is it for today. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share. Thanks for watching. Happy growing, everybody.